Hi, it's Caitlin from Caitlin Swatches, and I'm here today with the final Bee's Knees Lacquer collection. Yes, it's true, this is the last collection from Bee's Knees Lacquer, at least for the foreseeable future or ever. And I have to say that I am really gonna miss these monthly videos. I have absolutely loved swatching for Bee's Knees Lacquer. Sarah and Tim and everybody in the Bee's Knees team is incredible, and I know that all of you love their polishes so much. So Bee's Knees is not gone forever. They're still going to do the polish pickup for sure, and I think they're still going to do their Fandom Flakies box with Night Owl lacquer. So that's good news. We won't be deprived of Bee's Knees forever, but just no more of these monthly collections in their shop. But anyway, let's not get too sad. Let's just focus on the fact that we still have one collection from Bee's Knees Lacquer coming up. You can purchase it as a pre-order from November 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time through December 1st. And these are beautiful polishes. Sarah said she wanted to finish with some of her favorites. She also said she knows that this won't be for everybody, but I think they're beautiful, and I love that she just made what she wanted to make. There will also be 2 exclusive polishes available on the Femme Fatale Cosmetics website, which is an Australian nail polish brand and nail polish shop. And there will also be a 25% off sale site-wide. You can grab these for 25% off. I didn't have time to pull out all of my Bee's Knees and compare, but if you are looking for comparisons, please join the Bee's Knees Buzz Facebook group. I'll link it down in the description. There will definitely be comparisons posted in there. You can also check out Bee's Knees Lacquer on Instagram. Their stories usually include comparisons from the other swatchers who receive these polishes. And yeah, I guess that's it. So let's just get into the swatches.
Let's start with Love is the Most Powerful Magic. So this one is described as a soft sheer purple with ultra glowy blue to purple shimmer. So this one, as you can see on that first coat, is definitely sheer. So this is not something that's ever really going to fully cover your nail line. So if you did want to layer it, you definitely could to get a fully opaque look. It's definitely smooth enough and even enough that you could use it as a topper. But I'm building it up in 3 coats, and I really love how it looks. You know that I'm a fan of sheer Bee's Knees lacquer shimmers, and I'm just so happy to see something like this in their final collection. So this one is going to definitely be a ghostly polish, as you're going to see in a second. The shimmer is also very shifty and glowy, which just creates the most beautiful effect. I personally love how sheer this one is. It almost disappears on your nail at certain angles, so I'm just really happy to see this polish in the collection. It looks good in all lighting. I really love that blue to purple shift. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and I'm a huge fan. Here we have Choice is Powerful, and this one is a white-based polish with gold to green to blue shimmer and a slight holographic effect. So I'm actually wearing this on my nails right now because I love it so much, and will most definitely be buying a backup when the shop opens. So this is an incredible formula for a white polish. It's very smooth, very even, and it had really good coverage in 2 coats. So for my nail length, I left it at 2 coats, but I'm sure some of you will build it up to 3 if you have a more visible nail line. So this one, the shimmer comes to life when you're in different lighting. So right now you're predominantly getting that greeny shift, but as you'll see in a second, this one is very shifty and very surprising. I also love that subtle holographic effect. Like, come on, that's so beautiful. This is one of the most pretty polishes I think I own, and definitely one of my new favorite Bee's Knees lacquers. I absolutely love it. So thankfully the sun came out so you can get a good sense of how this looks. I really like how it kind of disappears on my nail as well at certain angles. I think that's the base color, so it might show up differently if you have a different skin tone, but I really love this polish and I love it in all lighting. Now we're moving on to some lion siblings, or in this case, they're considered lion cousins because they're similar but different enough that they're not really in the exact same family to be siblings. So they're cousins. Anyway, this one is called An Act of Love, and it is a pale indigo polish with extra sparkly green to blue shimmer and hollow flakes. So this one has an incredible formula. It builds up really nicely in 2 coats for me. I imagine for most people, 2 will be enough, but I'm sure others will bring it up to 3. And you definitely want top coat to make it as shiny as possible. And this shimmer is really, really intense. So compared to the other lion polishes, this one definitely has a more intense shimmer and it's a different color shimmer. So here you can see just how shifty the shimmer is, and I really love the size of these hollow flakes. I think they stand out really nicely on the nail and work really well with the shimmer. This one is called Liar, and this one is a grape polish with extra sparkly green to blue shimmer and hollow flakes. So the same kind of shimmer that you saw in the previous polish, but a different base color. So this one definitely makes me think of grapes. It's actually making me think of those grape popsicles, which I haven't really thought about in many years. So I also built this one up in 2 coats, though I imagine others would probably take it to 3. I only needed 2. And once again, you want top coat to make it as shiny and glossy as possible. And the shimmer is really beautiful. So not only is it shifty, but it's also sparkly, which when combined with the hollow flakes, as you can see here, just makes for a really intensely sparkly polish, which I absolutely love. And I really like the base color on this one. It's just very dainty and very pretty. And I almost would say it's like a neutral kind of polish because it's so pretty. Here we have the Crone, and this one is a soft lavender polish with extra sparkly blue shimmer and hollow flakes. So once again, this is similar to the other polishes that you just saw, but this one has a beautiful lavender base, which I love so much. And honestly, this one is so pretty. They're all so pretty, and I really love the vibe of this collection. It's all sort of purpley and pinky and delicate so far. I mean, it's going to change as you're going to see in a sec, but I just really like how all these polishes look together. So once again, fantastic formula that built up really nicely in 2 coats for more of that sheer look if you're, keen on that. But if not, you could definitely build it up to 3 coats to get a more opaque look. And here it is in the sun. You can see how sparkly it is, and I just love how glowy that shimmer is. Here we're moving on to House Vengeance, and this one is a burgundy polish with that same sparkly green to blue shimmer and hollow flakes. So this one definitely still has a sheerer base, but it's obviously more opaque than the other ones we just saw because of that deeper base color. So it's total coverage in 2 coats. I don't imagine anyone would need 3. And there is a note that this one might stain, but honestly, I didn't experience that at all, and I didn't use base coat for any of my swatches. So if you're prone to staining, definitely be careful, but I personally didn't see anything concerning in the time that I was wearing it. So once again, 2 coats plus top coat, and I am using the Bee's Knees I'm Very Fast Quick Dry top coat for these, and I just love how shiny and quickly it dries. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat, and I'm so glad the sun came out. Here we have Monsters Could Be Created But Never Tamed, and this one is another lion cousin, but it has a smoky mauve base, and it has extra sparkly blue shimmer, and hollow flakes. So this one, the shimmer doesn't shift to green, it's just blue, and it makes for the most glowy polish, as you will see in a second. This one is just giving me like really princessy energy, like in a really good way. It's just the kind of polish that I love wearing. It makes me feel really cute when I'm wearing it. So if you're a fan of feeling cute, then I definitely recommend picking up this polish. And the hollow flakes are just so sparkly. Once again, I was super thankful that I actually had sun when I was swatching these, because hopefully you can see how glowy and sparkly the hollow is. It's just a beautiful combination. And now we're moving on to There's a Little Matter of Murder to Attend to. And this one is another Lion Cousin. It's a turquoise polish with extra sparkly green to blue shimmer again, and hollow flakes. So this one has really nice coverage on the first coat. It also is just incredibly beautiful. I don't really have a good relationship with turquoise polishes. They often don't work for me on my skin tone, but this one is so beautiful and I really love how it looked. I will say that the shimmer isn't as obvious in this one as it was in the other Lion Cousins that you saw previously, but I really love how it comes together in the end, so you will see it. But yeah, this one isn't as quite obvious as it was in the other ones, and maybe it's just because of the base color. It looks like more of an integrated shimmer, probably because the turquoise already has green and blue in it, so it just kind of looks more cohesive, as you can see here. And here we're continuing with the Lion Cousins. This one is called You're Impossibly Blasphemous. And this one is a black polish with that extra sparkly blue shimmer and hollow flakes. So this is the same kind of shimmer as Monsters Could Be Created But Never Tamed, and I just love how different it looks depending on the base color. So while this is a black base, it's definitely still sheer and transparent enough that it comes off just really beautiful and soft somehow, and that shimmer stands out really beautifully, and it's very obvious on the nail, as you can see. And of course I will recommend top coat. Not that these dry dull, but they're just much more smooth and sparkly looking when you apply top coat. So here it is, and I love anything with a black base and hollow flakes. It's one of my favorite polish combinations, and the blue shimmer in this one just makes it so special and beautiful. It's really intense, it's really beautiful, and I really like it. And now we have, I think this is the last sort of Lion Cousin in the collection. This one's called As Above, So Below, and it's a deep violet base with extra sparkly blue shimmer and hollow flakes. So this one has a really great formula yet again, like everything. Really great coverage on the first coat, but I definitely recommend 2 coats to build this one up. And there is a note that this one might stain. However, I didn't have any issues with staining. I didn't even use a base coat, and there were no signs of staining for me. So just like the last polish, this has that really sparkly blue shimmer. It's super intense. It works really well with the violet base color, and as you're seeing here in the sun, it's just so glowy and beautiful. I am a purple polish lover, so this collection makes me very, very happy. And while these ones aren't ghostly polishes in the traditional sense, whenever I see that sparkly blue shimmer, it just gives me that ghostly vibe, which I love so much. And now we're moving on to some different finishes in the collection. This one's called It's an Effing Promise, and it's a wine purple with extra sparkly green to blue shimmer. So this one, I really like the base color. I'm kind of a sucker for that shade of purple. To me, I mean, it's called a wine purple, and I just kind of love it. It's sort of magenta-y in my opinion, but as you'll see in a second, I did apply 3 coats because I wanted to deepen the base color to look as much like what I saw in the bottle as possible, because it does look quite dark in the bottle. So as you can see, when you add that 3rd coat, it definitely takes it from a magenta to purple territory. So the shimmer in this one, because it's so sheer, it does stand out really nicely, and it's so sparkly. Thankfully, once again, I was able to show this off in the sun, so you're going to see how beautifully the sun brings the shimmer to life. And again, purple lovers are going to love this polish. Just look at the glow on it. It's so intense. It's so beautiful. And I love the contrast of the shimmer and the base color. It just works so well, and I could kind of look at it forever. And here you can see it in the sun where it really comes to life in a different way. Here we have Tell Me I'm Your Favorite Sin. And this one is a blackened indigo base with extra sparkly red to green shimmer. So a blackened indigo base is a really interesting description, but I definitely see it because it does have like a touch of bluey purple, which I guess is indigo to it. And the shimmer in this is phenomenal. This one, my mom pulled out as soon as it came, and she wore it for Halloween because it just worked so well, sort of as like a vampire-y kind of nail look, and it just is really beautiful. So this is another one that I would recommend building up in 3 coats to get it as intense and as close to how it looks in the bottle as possible. And the Bee's Knees formula is so good. I don't often speak about dry time, but these polishes dry super quickly, so you can, instantly apply the next coat once you're done with the first coat after you do one hand and go to the next, which I really appreciate in a polish. So as you can see, the top coat just brings it super to life, and this is a very shifty polish, so you get green and gold at extreme angles, and yeah, it's just a phenomenal polish. What can I say? Bee's Knees does an incredible job with these finishes, and this is just absolutely beautiful. And the last 2 polishes before we move on to the Femme Fatale exclusives are reflective glitters with unicorn pea, but the unicorn pea is in the form of ghost flakes. So this one is called We Are the Feared, and it's a deep maroon with red to green ghost flakes and emerald light reflective glitter. So what I said earlier was kind of confusing, but ghost flakes are essentially the largest particle version of unicorn pea, so they give you that same shifty look, but they're just larger than like a super finely milled unicorn pea that comes off as a shimmer. So this one, I left it in 2 coats because I don't really like doing 3 coats of reflective glitters. I just have really short nails and I find it gets too thick and I don't like that. So I left it in 2. You can see it's definitely very juicy and there's a lot going on, so it distracts from the nail line, but you might want to do 3 coats if you want something more opaque. So here it is in the sun and under my lights, and hopefully you can catch those beautiful ghost flakes. I really love the shift in them, and I love the juicy base. Here we have I Believe I'm Powerful, Therefore I Am, and this one is a blackened green with red to green ghost flakes and black light reflective glitter. So this one and the last one definitely made me think of traditional Christmas colors. I really love this sort of blackened green. I don't know what makes me think of holly, but it sort of gives me that mental image. But this one does have a little more sort of a teal look to it. But anyway, this one also builds up pretty well in 2 coats. I think most people would probably do 3, but Again, my poor little nails are small and I didn't want to make this like super thick on my nails. So this of course dries down with texture, so you want a good thick glossy top coat, and they're really not difficult to remove, which is what I'm grateful for with reflective polishes. They're not as hard to remove as a glitter, but they do require a bit of scrubbing, more so than hollow flakes. So here this is in 2 coats plus top coat. You can already see how sparkly those reflective glitters are, and the ghost flakes just really pop against this base color. So here it is in the sun, and then under my lighting, I particularly like how that one looks when you've got the flash on it. And here's a look at the collection as a whole. It's really such a beautiful collection to end on, and hopefully everyone loves it as much as I do and as much as Sarah does as well. And we're going to move on to the Femme Fatale Customs. This one is called La Prima Strega, and this one is a pale blue with gold iridescent flakes, hollow flakes, and a scattering of matte black flakes. I really love this finish, and I know that Bee's Knees isn't going to be doing collections anymore, but I would have loved to see a collection of polishes like this in every color of the rainbow. I really love black matte flakes, and I love the way the shimmer works with the other elements in the polish. So this one built up beautifully in 2 coats. I'd say it's opaque, and most people will have it opaque in 2 coats. And I love the hollow in this one. Thankfully the sun was out and you can see just how beautiful all the elements come together and just how intense the shimmer is. I also really love the base color. It's super unique in my collection, and I'm always looking for something unique. So this one fits the bill for sure. And here we have Shadow Witch, which is a dark vampy purple with glowing blue iridescent flakes and ruby light reflective glitter. So this one has a really good formula for a reflective polish. It went on really smoothly on the first coat, as you can see, and I am completely obsessed with those glowing blue iridescent flakes. I just love anything iridescent and glowy. It's probably why I love ghostly polishes so much, but this one is so beautiful. I also love purple, and everything just comes together really nicely here. So as you can see, it covers really well and very evenly on 2 coats. I don't imagine people would need 3, but this one's very even, so you could also layer it if you wanted to over a similarly colored base. So I always recommend 1, if not 2 coats of top coat with reflective glitters. And this one is so perfect with all of those colors, the blue, the red, the purple. It just looks so good in the sun. It looks good in all lighting. As you can see, here it is under my swatch lights. Those flakes just glow no matter where they are. It's a really beautiful nail polish element. Always happy to see it. And it also looks really good with my camera flash.
It's super hard for me to pick my favorites, but I really love Choice is Powerful. It's a beautiful white, and it has such a good formula, and you know I love white polishes, so obviously that's a top pick. Monsters Could Never Be Tamed is another absolutely beautiful polish. It's super glowy, and I love that it has hollow flakes. That's one of my favorite nail polish elements, and it kind of combines like a Bee's Knees shimmer, those sheer shimmers that I love so much, with the hollow flakes. So it's like my favorite kind of coming together of all the polish elements that I love so much. And just because it is a absolutely beautiful ghostly shimmer, Love is the Most Powerful Magic, I love that one. And if you're a fan of Doomicorn or Tell Them to F Off, you need this one because it's a similar kind of sibling, and it's just super pretty and definitely ghostly. And I also want to give an honorable mention to There's a Little Matter of Murder to Attend to, because I don't usually like that shade of like tealy aqua, but this one is so pretty, and it might be my favorite teal aqua polish that I've ever found. So I really love that one. So let me know in the comments if you are going to be picking up anything from this release. Let me know, how you feel about Bee's Knees closing. Hopefully you're not too broken up about it. Thankfully, Sarah is doing what she needs to do for her health, and I wish her and Tim and everyone on the Bee's Knees team all the best. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing whatever they create for the polish pickup moving forward. So hopefully I will see you in my next video, and hopefully you have a great day wherever you are. Bye!